Hi folks, it's Tuesday a day. Friday we got an MOT. Jordan's here putting the gearbox back in. This is Johnny's gearbox. It's been fully rebuilt, new bearings and stuff. And the important bit, the belt housing's been replaced. So these holes are not elongated. And the clutch fork works like it should. So let's get on with it.
Needs a re-edit to that music for social media.
Ice is ice.
The brush is going a bit soft because this is meant for washing up dishes, and although it's a really high-end washing up brush, it soon softens, but that's okay. Nothing else is going soft. Not that it's hard right now, although I do like the car. Right, a lot of people who have watched this have said, why are you leaving it like this? You should paint it. Well, that's a personal thing. But the bottom line is I do want to protect it, and I've said this all along. Patination cars are great as long as you do actually protect them and stop them getting any worse. Otherwise, you're pretty much neglecting it. I'm going to use this stuff. They're not paying me to say it. This is Built Hamber, British company. They make Dynax UC, which is, the C stands for clear, underbody clear, and they do UB, and UBs are, I think, black or kind of honey coloured. And there's other stuff which goes into the cavity, so there's different versions. But this stuff, because it's clear, and it's really good at repelling salt, rust, all kinds of things, I'm actually going to use it on the outer body, and I'm going to rub it on like a wax. And I'm going to first do it under here. Before we put the bonnet on, I'm going to do it on the bulkhead, in these little orifices here where the hood hinges, and in the inner wings. So that's what I'm going to do first. So I'm not going to put a straw on this. I'm just going to dust it over. It's like a film, and it really sticks to everything. It's very good. You can dust it on though, which is great. So I'm going to dust it on, and if I feel the need, I'm going to wipe it onto a cloth. So I'm not going hardcore with it because these aren't areas where they're going to get loads and loads of dirt. I mean, I apply it like lacquer. Imagine you're trying to lacquer something. And I will let it soak in over the course of today because it will go dull. If you're watching this in Australia or Southern California, you don't need to do this, I don't think. You lucky bastards. It's just a lot easier to do this with the panels off, and the beauty of the 2CV is you can take panels off really easily compared to a normal car. Now, the 2CV shop has already done the restoration of the floor pan, and they've put on the black protective finish, like the Schultz type stuff. You can either go over it with this, which is obviously waxy, tacky. I might do that later. I might put it on the ramp and do the chassis as well. Even though the chassis has been galvanised, there's no harm in giving it a little bit of extra protection here and there. I actually use this stuff on nearly new cars. I used it on the Suzuki Jimny that I bought brand new, still the first car I've ever bought brand new. Before we drove it on the road at all. I had it delivered to the house on a trailer, and then I went to town on it with this. For the sake of spending 50, 60, 70 quid on this stuff, it preserves the car so much. And people think that new cars don't rust. They do. They just rust out of sight.
Hiya folks, thanks for watching this video. This is just a quick reminder for you to subscribe to our newsletter. There's a link below. You'll also receive our free ebook, the 2CV Buyer's Guide, and it's the best way for keeping up to date with what's going on at the 2CV shop. Now, back to the video.
Now, the headlights on mine, the headlight shells are a bit frilly at the bottom, and I've ummed and ahed about replacing them, but I'm actually going to do this instead and just keep an eye on them. Now, once I've put this on, you can put another layer on if the bodywork's quite rough like mine and it absorbs more, or if it's looking too shiny, you can just go over it with an old rag and just work it in and then mat it all back. So if you want it to look like it hasn't been protected when it has, but it will always darken it ever so slightly. I'm just trying to shield it from the worst of the glass, even though I'll clean the glass after. It's kind of like anti-detailing in some ways. So the good thing about this Dynax UC is it's even in cold temperatures like this, it goes on really well and smoothly. It's going to be easier to do this sort of thing in summer. But for the purposes of this, what I've realised is when you put it on, because it's colder and obviously the panels of the car are colder, you need to get on with, if you want to rub it and smooth it over, rub it into the nooks and crannies with a cloth and stop it from having that sheen. You kind of need to do it within probably half hour, 45 minutes. In the summer, you could probably leave it for several hours. I love the patination though that's coming through.
Actually brings it out, doesn't it?
It brings out all the wear, you know, the scorching. I think the driver's door's got the best patination of it all. I think the driver's door, I'm just about to spray the driver's door now. But I remember the driver's door when I first set eyes on this car. So when I did the driver's door, you'll probably see quite a change. Right, this has probably got the best patination on it for me. I think this is the one that this panel I noticed when I first saw this car. Now you'll see that there's a few pinholes still here. We've repaired the worst ones. In an instance like this, and actually most of the doors on this car, I'm going to put the more heavy-duty anti-corrosion potions inside the door. So any moisture that goes into the door, it lands on the waxy stuff and repels the water.